Hey, this is Braxton Keith. You're listening to Texas Toast Podcast.
Best, so let's go.
Cheers, everyone. Welcome to the Texas Toast Podcast with Miss Helen. And we have all kind of guests on our podcast from industry, veterans, and now we got a name that I just can't get out of my head. I've been listening to his music so much. Braxton Keith. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Wow. So tell me how all this started. Let's get to know you a little bit. I think you're from Midland. Is that your hometown or where you grew up?
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised, Midland, Texas.
So have you been singing all these years, or is it something you picked up after you were a little bit older? How did it get started for you?
Ever since I can remember, I've been singing. Yes, ma'am. Playing piano as well. I started piano when I was in like kindergarten. So always been kind of into music.
As you were getting into music, did you think that was something you were going to pursue as a career?
No, ma'am. Never did I think that. Everyone in my family had always told me that it was too difficult to pursue music as a career. So I always was like, I'll just do something else. Not until recently, 5 years ago, did I ever think this was an option.
Right, right. So what was the career that maybe the career path you were going to go into?
Well, my whole family is in dental. My mom and dad are both. My dad's a dentist. My mom's a dental hygienist for my dad, and then both of my little brothers are in dental school right now.
Oh, wow. Big family of dentists.
Yeah,
And then
so I
here
was gonna be a dentist.
Okay, so now we have Braxton, the singer, and let me tell you, you are making a huge impact on the Texas country music scene.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. So tell me about was your first recording, because I picked up on Honky Tonk Crowd right away. Was that one of your first recordings?
Yes, ma'am. That was the second one I ever put out.
Okay. So what was it like the first time you went in the studio?
It was interesting. I went to Amusement Park Studios in Lubbock, Texas, to record my first two singles. And it was a crazy experience. It took, I'd say, maybe 4 to 5 months per single. Uh, so it was a long, drawn out process for the first two singles, which was crazy. It was a cool experience, and I fell in love with it immediately.
Oh, that's awesome. So your first two singles that you recorded, did you already have a library of songs to choose from? Because you're also a songwriter. So how did you go in and say, okay, I think I want to do this one or that one? How did you make your song choices for your first couple of recordings?
I had a little help from the producer that I was working with at that time, Scott Ferris. He helped guide me in some directions that he thought were best, and I just took advice from a couple friends and stuff. I had a category, I mean, a catalog of a couple songs that I brought to the studio with me, so we just kind of picked from them.
Okay. And just in this short time, your music library has grown. We're going to talk about your music as I have some specific picks that I want to talk about. But who are some of your musical inspirations? Because this style that you have is absolutely amazing.
I'd say one of my biggest inspirations definitely has to be Marty Robbins. Uh,
Mhm.
and then I'm on a paycheck bender right now, a Johnny Paycheck bender.
Awesome.
Also, Keith Whitley, obviously, George Jones, all the greats. But I just have a deep love for traditional country music.
That's obvious, especially in a cold hard steel and sand. That's very traditional. Tell me about that single.
We went in and tried to write a song about Midland, Texas, and the oil field in Midland, Texas, and the way I've experienced it growing up there. Uh, and we tried to do that without ever mentioning Midland and without ever mentioning the word oil. And we wanted to write a Marty Robbins style song. We knew that from the beginning. I just didn't realize how on point it was going to be. It sounds exactly like a Marty Robbins song.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's kind of cool. It means a lot to me. That song's really cool.
And how long ago did you write that one?
I probably wrote that 4 years ago. Me and Charlie Stout wrote that in abandoned boot shop in Turkey, Texas.
Oh, awesome. Famous Turkey, Texas. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Home of Bob Wills.
Yes, that's a great story behind that song, especially the style and the sound that it has. And then Everybody's Gotta Love Gonna Come Back as a country song.
Oh yeah. I didn't write that song. That is a write between Chris Stapleton, Terry McBride, and Ronnie Dunn.
Interesting. So how did that come about?
Alex Torres, my management, was searching through some of the catalogs that he has access to, I guess, and came
Mhm.
across it and was like, "Man, this is right up your alley. We got to cut this." And it's always scary to me because I've cut two songs that Chris sang demos for, and hearing Chris Stapleton sing demos for those, it's like, why would I cut them? You know, like why didn't he just cut them? They sound so dang good, but it's I like the way they turned out. They turned out pretty good. I think I did them justice.
Yeah. So what was the second song?
It's Honky Tonk City and Gonna Come Back as a Country Song.
That's it. Okay, yeah. So you have another one you have currently out, Settle for a Beer, and that's out to streaming.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So let's
ma'am.
talk
That
about
one,
that one. That's a good one. We talked about that one here on the podcast.
heck yeah, that's one of my favorites. I wrote that with Andy Scott Willis in Nashville one day. We wrote it the day before I cut it in the studio. We wrote it and took it to the studio immediately. I'm not in Nashville very often, so when we're there, we got to make do with what the time we have, you know.
Mm. Well, you're making do with a lot of time because it's just in the short time that you've started building your career and coming up in the Texas country scene, you've got quite a few songs.
Trying to. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing is just trying to stay relevant. Everybody's attention span is so short nowadays, and everybody wants new. I feel like every time I put out a song, somebody's like, "When's the next one coming out?" And I'm like, "Man,
Yes,
y'all know how much this stuff costs?" Like,
exactly.
yeah, but we're trying as hard as we can to get new stuff out. In fact, we have, a couple in the back pocket right now that we're gonna push out here soon.
Okay, well, let's talk about I looked at you're playing some awesome venues. Let's talk about your live shows and you're getting out there in front of the people.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we're playing all over. This weekend we'll be in Kansas and then Oklahoma, and we're just playing everywhere we can possibly, just trying to get in front of as many people as we can. We've got a really fast pace, upbeat, honky tonk, show. So we're excited for everybody to be a part of it and come out and see it.
Well, I've seen some of your stuff, and I mean, like you're just on fire. So tell me about your live show. Is as far as your band. So were you able to pull some people in to play for you full time, or you just tell me about your situation with your band?
Yeah, so I have full time guys. Yeah, I've had my drummer now for 3 years. And I found all these guys basically through social media.
Hmm.
Uh, just put out ads and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for this or whatever," and they came to me and we ended up working something out. But yeah, I've got a drummer that I've had now for 3 years, and guitar player and the bass player are twin brothers, identical twins.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Jack and Isaac are the two most recent members, and that's the sound guy and one of my lead players. And then we've got a full-time videographer that does all of our stuff. Zach, he's a genius. He helps me with all my social media stuff, and so we've got a good team, man. Just all running as a well-oiled machine.
Well, you're becoming a name. So as you're out playing, who are some of the like maybe some of the other more established artists that pulled you to the side? What's some advice you've gotten from some of the other people, other artists or those involved in the Texas country music scene?
Most of the advice I've got is make sure you believe in the music. That's some of the biggest stuff. Like, don't put out anything that you don't believe in, and don't put out anything that's just filler. Like, I want everything that I put out to be something that I believe in 100%. So that I I was told that at very very early stages of my career, and I took that to heart. So I've been trying to only push out things I believe in, and it takes me a little bit longer than I would like to put out some of these songs. Like we haven't put out anything in a couple months now, uh, but I'm trying to make sure everything's perfect because I don't want anything to go out that isn't perfect, you know?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, a couple
That
of months isn't too bad.
yeah, no, that ain't too bad to wait.
Not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I love your work ethic. I can see it already. You're gonna do so many great things. Let's set list. As far as your set list on your shows.
So set lists on our shows, we don't even really have a set list that I even set on stage. My drummer calls everything.
I love it. I
But
love it.
we've we've just added we replace the covers every once in a while. We play all the originals, except for Mama's song. Usually I do that as an encore. Uh
Yeah, can I stop you right there? I had that on my list. Can you tell me about that song?
yeah, so I wrote that one about my mom. I also wrote that with Charlie Stout. We wrote that in the Blue Light Live on the backstage in the patio, just on a hot day in the summer in Lubbock, Texas. And Charlie's never met my mom before, so it was funny for us to write the song about her because I would tell him stuff, and then we'd have to go off of him never meeting her, just trying to figure out what information he can get from me. So it's cool. He still never met my mom, but she loves the song, and it's one of my favorite songs to play too. And the audience loves it every time, every night. They're hoping that I'll come back on and play it. So it's really cool.
So, what are some of your other interests outside of music?
Man, I'm a really big bowler. The
Cool.
whole crew actually bowls. We all bowl. We pretty much go almost every weekend. We try to go at least once or twice a week. We're all going tonight. But yeah, we go bowling every once in a while, and we're trying to get into a league, start the Braxton Keith team.
I love that.
Yeah, that would be
So,
pretty cool.
so is that something you've been doing since you were a kid, or did you pick that up like a little bit later on?
I've been bowling since I was a kid, but we never took it seriously until recently. Where there's not very many things to do in every single place that you play, but you can almost always find a bowling alley. So we all just we don't like going to the bar or hanging out because that's where we work. So we'd
True.
rather go, do something fun like Top Golf or go bowling or something like that. So yeah, we've
Mhm.
been messing around with just bowling. We've also been doing a lot of cornhole, ping pong, pool, anything that we can challenge another band to do. That we've been,
Really?
yeah, we bring a wiffle ball set with us everywhere, so that if there's another band and we have enough to make a team, we'll play band versus band.
I love your style. That is so much fun.
Like, yeah, try to get there early enough to have fun. I mean, traveling all over the country, might as well have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah. Traveling all over. I saw a picture of your bus. I like your bus.
Thank you. That's my only vehicle. I take that thing everywhere.
So you have literally your business in it and then all your play toys in it as well.
Oh yeah, it's a 32-foot long passenger church bus, and we got it right before COVID, and I gutted the whole thing. There's four bunks in it, and then there's a table up front and a couch, and then area in the back for my videographer and my sound guy to do some editing. But there's no AC, so we just run with the windows down. And
Oh, heavens. In this hot summer we had,
oh yeah, it's in the last 2 summers. Hopefully that these are the last 2 summers we have to ride with no AC, but we've been trying to get it fixed.
man, I admire you even more now. Braxton Keith just out there doing it in the heat with no air conditioner, like old school times, like in the old country music.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
You're doing it too. Oh my gosh, this is really a good interview. So what are some of your goals, upcoming goals? Like where do you see yourself in the next year?
I'm trying to get on some bigger stages. A lot of the festivals we haven't hit at all, so I need to get on like some of the bigger festivals, especially around the country, would be pretty cool during the summer and stuff. That's our goal. Right now, we've been hitting all the local honky tonks and
Mhm.
bars, uh, which is fun. I love doing that. I always love that.
Right.
The dance hall vibe, but obviously, yeah, we want to get on some bigger stages this next year. So that's a goal.
Are you booking yourself or you have a booking agent yet?
Yeah, Andrew McWilliams at Evergreen Artist Group. That's who's booking me right now.
Okay, so everybody's got that now. He just put it out there. Get in touch with Braxton's booking agent because I know you're just
Right.
doing so many great things. And as far as music, do you look at anything in the future being released to radio?
I am always trying to push the radio. So yes, absolutely. That is definitely something I'm working on in the close future.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Get one out to radio and then go on the radio tour and meet everybody. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, you can do that. You will totally be doing that. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on that and say I told Braxton he'd be on that radio tour because I know so many of the programmers and they're gonna be excited to meet you because your music is authentic and it is just true blue country.
Like yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. So what else do you think for the future? Let's go through since this is our first interview and we're gonna watch you grow. Let's go through maybe a couple of bucket list venues for you to play.
Bucket list venues for sure. I'd have to say Red Rock.
Mm,
There's this place in Nashville. I don't know if it's called the Caverns. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's underground in this big cave. That would be so sweet. I mean, I can't imagine playing an underground show. That'd be cool. And then obviously the Grand Old Opry stage, the Ryman,
look at you.
uh, and Billy Bob's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that well, you've got some big goals, and I can't wait to watch you attain those goals. And as far as getting back in the studio, are you do you have like, are you still going to record at the same studio you've been recording at? Or are you looking around?
Uh, both. We're looking around and recording it at the same time. But I've been recording at a studio in Nashville, Farmland Studios,
Hmm.
and I've been there for like the last 2 years, and I really like it. But yes, we're always looking for something new, something fresh, something good. You know,
So, do you enjoy the whole scene in Nashville?
absolutely do. Yes, I was gonna say that. My first two singles, they took 5 months a piece. You know, which was crazy. And you go to Nashville, and I mean, we'll cut 6 songs in one day,
Hmm.
and I'll get the tracks back that day.
Right. So,
So it's just
and
a
I
different vibe for sure.
yeah, yeah, it is. And I think I've heard a lot of artists say that they get maybe a little more bang for their buck by taking it to Nashville and like you're saying, get in and get out and have your stuff in hand.
Oh yeah, 100%. Way more bang for your buck. It's it's really crazy the musicians they have there at their
Hmm.
disposal 24
Right.
7. And in Texas, that's what took us so long was we would have to wait on available musicians. And so you can do it. It can be done, but it is more efficient, way faster. It's a well-oiled machine in Nashville. If you know what you're getting into and you've been to the studio for before and you know what the studio's like, then Nashville's definitely the place to go for your buck.
Hmm.
Best bang for the buck.
Yes, for sure. Well, that's all interesting. So you've just been hard and heavy at it and jumping in there. Who are some of your favorites that you've shared the stage with so far in your career?
Oh, Randall King, he's brought me up, from the beginning, and taught us a lot of, what we've been doing right now. So I'll always be very thankful to him. Randall, Josh Ward, all my buddies right now. William Beckman,
Oh,
uh,
we love William. Love William.
he's unbelievable. So much talent.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know, a lot of good guys out in the scene right now. All of them. I love everybody.
Yeah, we just recently had Randall on the podcast and he mentioned your name. And I think, and that's a great thing about the Texas country music scene is everybody just so works together and it's just such like a family.
That's what it should be. Everybody should be working together, helping each other out, and bringing everybody up. There's not very many of us that actually get to do this for a living. So especially the ones that work really hard and are busting their butts and are putting in the effort. Like I'll do anything I can to help you. Like or vice versa. They'll do anything they can to help you. So it's cool to see.
I bet your parents are proud of you. Going back to that.
Hey, I hope so. They got on board now.
Did
They
they get
weren't
to
so
come out?
sure at first.
Right. Do they get to come out to a lot of your shows?
They come out to the ones here, yeah, in San Antonio. They're living in San Antonio now, so Floors Country Store and Green, they get to come out to those,
Uh-huh.
which are some
So
good
you're
venues. Those are
yeah,
those are cool
yeah.
venues.
See, so you've already played Green.
Yes, ma'am. We sold Green out. I guess this summer.
Hmm.
It was fun. We had a good time. That was our first time headlining Green, so we had a great time.
Oh my goodness. You are amazing. There's a lot of artists, it takes a long time to headline Green and sell it out. And that's why I'm saying it's like we look for great things coming from you, Braxton.
Oh heck yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Anything else that we want to cover while I still have your attention and have you on the podcast for this first time? Because I can tell you're going to be returning.
Let me think. I don't know. I'd say we are definitely coming to a honky tonk near you. So check your local honky tonks and go on the website for sure,
Mhm.
www.thebraxtonkeith.com, and we'll be somewhere around you. So come out and see the show. It's so much fun.
Yes, I can't wait to see a show. So one last question before I let you go. If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
If I was a cocktail, oh man, I'd just be a neat whiskey.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been fun, and we'll definitely be following your progress. I mean, you're just doing such an amazing job. Your name is out there. You're catching ears, catching attention from all of us on the other side that listen and follow this music. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Braxton, and we look for great things.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.